And hello there again, RosterWatch Nation. It's your Philly neighborhood trash man back at you. And today I'm going to be talking about late round tight ends that you can get in your fantasy drafts right now. This edition, particularly from the AFC. So, not one of these tight ends is going to be found inside the top 20 ECR right now, but that doesn't mean they can't end up in the top 10 rankings by the end of the season. These late round picks offer all the upside without the high price tag. So let's go ahead and get started. First off with Eric Ebron of the Steelers. Ebron had his second best season as a pro last year with the Steelers, 56 receptions, 558 yards, and 5 touchdowns, and he missed a game there. Ebron's floor was considerably high too, as he notched at least 5 targets in 13 of those games. With the addition of Najee Harris to the backfield, Pittsburgh offense it's conceivably gotten better. So Ebron should be in line for another fantasy-worthy year. After Ebron, we have CJ Uzomah of the Bengals. There are a lot of mouths to feed, it's true, in Cincinnati this season. But offensive coordinator Brian Callahan has stated that 50 receptions for Uzomah is realistic. That's pretty decent. His rapport with Joe Burrow was on display in the only 2 games that Uzomah played in 2020. So, in fact, he had 5 and 6 targets in those 2 games. So there's a solid chance that he picks up where he left off with Burrows before he tore his Achilles last season and missed the remainder of the season. And just to let you know, he's been fully cleared for that injury, so he's good to go. So take a chance on Uzomah. I think that Cincinnati offense is going to be probably the best one we've seen, maybe ever. That's debatable. After Uzomah, you have Jared Cook of the Chargers. Cook, who was with the Chargers, Cook, who was with the Saints, brought in to replace Hunter Henry after letting the young tight end go to New England. And though he's long in the tooth, Cook should be considerably productive in a Justin Herbert high-flying offense, where tight ends accounted for almost 25% of the Chargers' targets in 2020. Cook averaged about 700 yards and 7.5 touchdowns over his last 3 seasons as a Raider and then a Saint. So if he stays the top dog in LA, he should do at least that well with the ascending Herbert under center. After Cook, we have Anthony Firkser of the Titans. There's a chance that the Titans bring back Delaney Walker to spend the twilight of his career in Nashville, and then it's him we'll take the wager on. But until that happens, Firkser is the top tight end in Tennessee. And though Julio Jones is now a Titan as well, Firkser has been getting the most targets thus far in camp. There's a good chance that will change. But what it does mean is that Firkser is not just there for his blocking. He's going to catch passes. With Jonnu Smith now in New England, there's currently no barrier to entry for Firkser's fantasy prospects. Last but not least for the AFC, we have Tyler Kroft of the Jets. Kroft hasn't been fantasy relevant since 2017 when he went for 42 receptions for 407 yards and 7 touchdowns as a Bill. But as a newly acquired Jet, he's been running a lot with the first team and could actually displace Chris Herndon as the starter. Herndon, in my opinion, and the opinion of many, has vastly underperformed since he landed in New York in 2018 as a rookie. Offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur wants to mimic the offense he had in San Fran, and that would include a major role for the tight end. Keep an eye on Kroft, as he could be an almost free of charge fantasy get. Anyway, those are some late round tight ends you can pick up for your fantasy drafts that are in line to exceed their current values in fantasy football this year. Again, this has been the Trash Man on behalf of RosterWatch.com. If you like what you're hearing, if you like what you heard, leave us a comment, give us a follow, join us at RosterWatch.com. Until next time, be ready.